Well, it's been more than 2 months since Andrew Cashner pitched in the big leagues, but tonight he returns. He is healthy. He's ready to compete. And the Padres need him. They've won just twice so far on this road trip. Andrew Cashner is back and ready for baseball, and so are we here at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. The Padres and the Diamondbacks. It'll be game 2 of this 3-game set. The Padres dropped the first one last night, 5-1, the final score. Great to have you with us for a little baseball on a Saturday night. Mark Sweeney and Mike Pomeranz with you. Dick Enberg, Mark Grant with the night off. So the big story today, clearly, the return of Andrew Cashner, and this team really hopes that he's healthy and ready to go.
Mike, an exciting moment, not only for the organization, but also Andrew Cashner coming off the disabled list. You see the 2-6 record, but the ERA really indicates how he's pitched when he's on the mound. Fastball is outstanding. It has life, it has movement, but also the slider and changeup mix really gives fits for a lot of hitters. He has to be economical tonight because he is going to be on a pitch count.
So 12 starts so far this season. This will be number 13. Remember, last year he made 26 starts and threw over 170 innings. So it'd be great to see him not only go and have a nice performance tonight, but then be able to finish the season as a regular in the rotation. So Andrew is going to be facing the Arizona Diamondbacks. They have been a struggling club all season long. They looked a little bit better yesterday, clearly, as they won 5-1. Now, offensively, they've been challenged. Paul Goldschmidt out with a fractured hand, but Miguel Montero is back to his old ways and a bounce-back year for him.
Well, you see the 2013 numbers. They are not very good at all. This year, an all-star putting up worthy numbers and doing it in front of a lot of rookie hitters. And this is why Miguel Montero is very good. Last night, sitting on a pitch, using his experience against Despaigne and sitting on a changeup early in the game, really a difference maker last night. A big blow for the Diamondbacks. And unfortunately for the Padres, that was enough last night with the big home run.
Yeah, it was a 2-run bomb right off the foul pole, and we still debate as to why they don't call it a fair pole, because it hits and it counts. So 5-1, but that's last night. Tonight, it's all about Andrew Cashner. When we come back, we talk to the Padres skipper, Buddy Black, and he tells us what he expects from his returning starter, Andrew Cashner, what he believes will be the key to Andrew's success tonight. It's game 2 in a moment. with the roof closed. It's a comfortable 76 degrees as we welcome you inside. Mike Pomeranz here, getting you ready for first pitch. Very big night tonight. Andrew Cashner will take the mound, and he is looking for a little bit of damage and retribution to a career that has certainly seen its share of injuries. He's getting loose today. Hasn't started in 2 months, hasn't won since April 16th. What's key for him to be successful? Here's Buddy Black with our Geico quote of the game.
He's antsy. He wants to pitch. He likes to play. So it will happen tonight. He's ready to go. You know, there's an expectation, obviously, of performance because he's a good pitcher, but we're going to monitor his pitch count. You know, somewhere hopefully between 70 and 90. Hopefully that takes us into the 6th inning. But we feel good about where Cash is. I know that he's excited to pitch tonight and get back out there and help us win games.
Well, if Andrew Cashner is able to win tonight, it'll be Buddy Black's 600th win. It is a milestone we're hoping will happen. Cashner against Nuno, game 2 of a 3-game set. First pitch coming up.
By GMC. See why incredible thinking is everywhere. Visit your local GMC dealer today. By Petco, the power of together. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. About 100 degrees outside, but inside a comfortable 74. It's great to have you with us here at Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. It's the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Padres baseball set to get underway. Del Nuno against Andrew Cashner. A little bit of hijinks earlier today, Mark.
Yeah, that's what your mascot has to do. He has to try to take him out of his game. And check out Liriano just dropping the ball. Go get that.
And Reimer Liriano, spoke to him in the pregame show. Excited to be here for Liriano. His 11th game in the big leagues. Let's go ahead and check out your starting lineup for Buddy Black. This game 2 of a 3-game set. Yangervis Solarte will lead off. He'll be at second base. Abraham Almonte is going to play left. Tommy Medica gets it started first. Rene Rivera, Reimer Liriano, Chris Nelson, Cameron Maben, Alexi Amarista, and the pitcher, Andrew Cashner. It's brought to you tonight by Toyota.
Well, Vidal Nuno, scouting report, he's a fly ball pitcher, likes to throw a lot of strikes, but he pitches backwards, which means that he likes to throw that breaking ball slider combination early in the count, go to the fastball late.
Solarte, Almonte, and Medica. And Solarte takes strike one. We're underway. The offense tough to come by last night. Just 4 hits for the Padres, but Solarte had 2 of them.
You see early fastball success by Nuno and trying to establish the strike zone. He's been very good for the Diamondbacks. Hasn't got a lot of run support. He's a fly ball pitcher in a hitter's ballpark. That could be dangerous.
Nuno 2-8 on the year, an ERA of 4.79. But with the Diamondbacks in 8 starts, 0-3 from National City. 5'11", 195 pounds, and that ball is a smash. But right at Jake Lamb at third base, and Solarte is retired. First out of the ball game. Defensively, behind Nuno tonight, Alfredo Marte is in left. Ender Inciarte is the center fielder. David Peralta is in right. Same lineup they used last night. Jake Lamb, Didi Gregorius, Cliff Pennington, Mark Trumbo, and the All-Star Miguel Montero will catch Fidel Nuno. It's brought to you by Honda. Abraham Almonte, first pitch hacking, left center field. Marte and Ciarte, it'll be in Ciarte. Put it away at the track, so a couple of quick outs for Nuno and the Diamondbacks.
Well, I like the aggressiveness by the Padres, and it's going to be interesting. So many times we talk about staying inside the baseball, using the big part of the field. Well, today, Nuno, especially the right-handed hitters, are going to have to pull the ball and look to drive the baseball because he gives up a lot of fly balls, and those left field seats are very inviting.
Here's Tommy Medica, 247, 7 home runs. Medica been streaky on the trip, 1 for 17. But at Chase Field, he's a monster, 7 for 11, 5 extra base hits. And this ball is fanned out to right field. Peralta near the line, and he'll put it away as he battles the sun and the shade. Padres go in order, and Andrew Cashner takes the mound. Is undeniable. His talent, remarkable. Tonight, he returns to the mound for the Padres, ready to prove he can dominate in 2014 and beyond. Andrew Cashner is back right now. Well, a big right-hander set to make his 13th start of the season. First time on a big league mound since June 18th, and it's time to face the Arizona Diamondbacks. Ender Inciarte will lead off. Cliff Pennington will bat second, place second. David Peralta is the right fielder. Mark Trumbo at first base. Miguel Montero, who had a 2-run home run last night, he'll catch. Alfredo Marte in left. Jake Lamb, the third baseman. The shortstop tonight is Didi Gregorius, and Vidal Nuno will pitch. It's brought to you by Mattress Discounters. I don't really know what to expect tonight, but Andrew says he is healthy. He feels very good. You heard Buddy Black say he'll probably work between 75 and 90 pitches, which we hope takes him into the 6th inning.
A very emotional guy, and the intensity is going to be a little bit different coming off the disabled list for Andrew Cashner.
Inciarte, Pennington, Peralta, bottom of the first. .92 miles an hour, ball 1 to Inciarte.
Well, we're going to take a look at the velocity tonight, but also location, especially with the fastball. I think if there's one thing that you want to check the box with, he likes to have that command of the fastball early. Fox tracks by Nissan, you can see all over the place, but working down in the strike zone.
So 3-0 now to Inciarte. Chris Nelson in at third base, and Inciarte takes a strike. Cashner made 3 rehabilitation starts. He was in Lake Elsinore, Advanced A, a couple of starts in AAA El Paso, and declared himself ready to go, and that ball is wrapped into right field. It'll get past Liriano. Inciarte can run. He's around first. He'll pull up at second with a leadoff double. Well, Andrew behind in the count, trying to battle his way back, and Inciarte able to turn one around. He'll go to right field for a double.
Well, Inciarte just gets into a hitter's count. You can see that elevated fastball has movement, but not a lot. A nice piece of hitting. Drives it by Liriano to the wall, and an easy double. Nice piece of hitting by the Diamondback.
Well, for Inciarte, that's double number 10, and it'll bring up Cliff Pennington. Diamondbacks been struggling. 2-8 on their recent road trip. They won last night, 5-1 over the Padres. Come into action this evening, 18.5 games behind the Dodgers in the West. The Padres 12.5 back. Kirk Gibson and company looking for some answers. They're playing a lot of young players. See what they have for 2015.
Like 18 rookies have played for the Diamondbacks. That shows you the adversity they've had to go through. Every team goes through it, but a lot of injuries for the Diamondbacks, a lot of opportunities for some young players, as we see Kevin Towers in the booth, former Padre GM, now the Arizona Diamondback GM.
Those 18 rookies, the most in baseball. And we have seen injuries tear through both clubs. So a lot of young players getting opportunity. 3-1 bounced through the right side into right field, and Inciarte will come around. He will score easily. So Pennington, an RBI single. The Diamondbacks lead 1-0.
Mike, back-to-back 3-1 counts, and you see the elevated fastball. A lot easier for the hitter to make an adjustment. Cliff Pennington pounds that RBI single to right field.
Nobody out here in the first. David Peralta. And Peralta, first pitch hacking out in center field. Cameron Maben is there. He'll put it away. And Pennington will retreat back to first base. One down.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Andrew Cashner coming off the disabled list. For me, it has chemistry with Rene Rivera. As we see in our Fox Vision, fastball command is very important tonight in his initial start. Early in this game, he's been a little bit off the edges, but the chemistry with Rivera, who really motivates Andrew Cashner, but very emotionally invested into all of his starts as Andrew Cashner. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles the beginning of this game.
Here's Mark Trumbo. Well, we saw Trumbo leg out an infield single for an RBI yesterday, and that's significant because he's coming back off of a foot injury, hitting .233, but .311 in the 21 games he's played since returning from the disabled list.
It's going to be interesting to watch Rene Rivera because he does a very good job framing, especially with Andrew Cashner. And the reason for that is the command that Andrew Cashner has. He has the ability to locate on both edges, work off the plate, and Rene Rivera can catch you some strikes. It'll be interesting to watch that as the game progresses.
2 balls, no strikes. 1 down here in the bottom of the first.
You see the velocity. It started at 91, 92. Now it's starting to creep up. 94, 95 on that last pitch. And our Fox track shows right down on the bottom of the strike zone. I love that location for Andrew Cashner, as we see all of those pitches either below or just right on that bottom part of the zone.
Pennington back easily. Nice to see Andrew start to settle in here. You've got to anticipate that the nerves and excitement have to play a factor early.
Well, Mike, just because he's a veteran pitcher doesn't mean you don't get nervous. I mean, it's an extended period of time on the disabled list.
Here goes the runner, but bounced at first baseman Tommy Medic will take it himself. And Trumbo is retired as Pennington moves down to second base. Behind Andrew tonight, Abraham Almonte is in left field. Cameron Maven starts in center. Reimer Liriano is in right field. Chris Nelson is at third base. Alexi Amarista, the shortstop. Jed Jerko is available off the bench, but it's Yanhervis Solarte who gets the start at second base. Tommy Medica, you saw there at first, and Rene Rivera is catching it. That's sponsored by the Aramco Group tonight.
Well, Mike, we look at Reimer Liriano, and you take in consideration this is his first indoor game at the big league level, if not baseball. I don't think they have domes in the minor leagues.
Exciting time for Reimer Liriano as Miguel Montero digs in. You see the roof closed. Big ballpark. Reimer told us in the pregame show not too intimidated, and he thought he might be. He's played now at Busch Stadium, Dodger Stadium, and now here at Chase Field.
Well, those are good tests, but you understand too he had a big home run at home. That's a relieving point to understand you've made an adjustment in the game. You know it's the same game now where all the veteran players are going to give you that advice, but you have to feel it yourself as a player. And Reimer sure has done his best on both sides of the baseball. I'm very impressed with his effort in the game.
1-1 to Montero. And Rivera, nice job blocking it up back there, as he often does. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County. Emotional game coming off the disabled list. Keep your emotions in check for Andrew Cashner. Pull side hitting for the Padres. Nuno likes to throw in, especially to the right-handed hitters. Let's see how they handle that.
Now Montero laid into a changeup last night. First inning. 2-run shot right off the foul pole.
Well, Mike, you take a look at this swing and sitting on that changeup. How about this? Yeah, that's a loud sound and a difference maker for the Diamondbacks last night. Offensively getting off to a very good start tonight. the same thing.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pennington, the runner at second base. I was thinking about that game last night, and a couple of plays made here or there, and the result certainly could have been different. But Trumbo legs out an infield hit, and then the Montero home run, and things just never could get righted.
See Andrew Cashner just struggling with command, just off just a little bit. The tendency is to be a little tentative coming off the disabled list, also emotionally checking into that. That's the reason why Rene Rivera goes out, has a discussion with him with that base open at first base. A lot of options for Andrew Cashner here.
Three-ball count now for the third time in 5 hitters.
Well, that tells me when Montero goes with a fastball and he drills it down the left field line, a 3-2 count, tells me he was sitting that breaking ball. See if they go to that 4-seam fastball, maybe even elevate it. You see him just taking that left field approach on a 3-2 count.
Inside, and Montero draws the walk. So Andrew has thrown 23 pitches now, 12 balls, 11 strikes.
I think, Mike, just getting through this first inning is an emotional lift for Andrew Cashner, and now going against the rookie Marte. But Black understands, just watching him, evaluating him tonight. Surprise arm for the Padres, and will be very cautious moving forward.
So Pennington at second, Montero at first. Marte 1 for 4 last night. He takes low, ball 1. So Cashner again behind. Just 1 of 6 first pitch strikes.
And that's why you're seeing the deep counts as well. He still has the movement on the fastball. You're seeing the velocity is fine. You see 95, 96, that might be the 4-seamer, just to try to give the hitters different looks. Under the watchful eye of Bud Black and Darren Balsley, the pitching coach.
Well, that's a beauty. That's right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So for Andrew, this is his 13th start. On the disabled list a couple of months.
Well, early in this game, Mike, it doesn't look like that slider is coming out of the hands. Rene Rivera's done a nice job blocking it, giving him the trust of throwing that, but he looks very tentative with that slider.
So used to seeing that good fluid motion.
Well, when he's at his best, it looks like they're playing catch together.
2-2 to Marte. Little chopper. Nelson, nice play on the backhand. Long throw and gets him. Wow, what a play. Chris Nelson. Tough play. High chop. Backhand. And fires a dart across the infield to Tommy Benega. One more look at this one. Diamondbacks lead 1-0. field as Dave Roberts, Andrew Kashner look to scratch their way back into this one. Boy, a nice play by Chris Nelson to end the first. Watch that backhand play on the charge and the quick release.
Well, Mike, what impressed me the most is that high chopper, and as an infielder, you have to go get it. And that take him off the short hop, and Chris Nelson does a nice accurate throw to first base to complete the big play to get Andrew Kashner out of that first inning. Nice play.
So Nelson scheduled to hit third in the inning. Rene Rivera and Reimer Liriano and Chris Nelson to follow. Rivera 241, 8 home runs though. And as you mentioned, great behind the plate framing pitches. Very good keeping the running game in check.
Well, I think he's a big part of this pitching staff and how much success they've had. If you watch how he handles the pitching staff and blocks balls in the dirt, frames the pitches, but he gives energy to this pitching staff that I think goes a long way. And other than Tyson Ross, I think he's our MVP on this team right now. Seth Smith has a tremendous year, but you look at the body of the work from both sides of the plate. Rene Rivera is very important to this club.
Rivera there, the catcher's ERA, basically the team's earned run average with that particular catcher behind the plate. Lowest in baseball, the National League, but he goes down on strikes to lead off the second inning. Nuno picks up his first strikeout. And with one down, here's the rookie, Reimer Liriano. Oh, what a breath of fresh air Reimer Liriano is. Chance to meet him and his family down in the Dominican in October. Remember, he came back from Tommy John surgery. Had a wonderful season in the minor leagues, rewarded trip up to Buddy Black's big league club. And this is his 11th game in the majors.
No, not easy to sit out for a full year of baseball activity. And to say the least, rehab is not fun. It's emotionally taxing, trying to get back on the field, and to his credit, he made the big leagues a year after, full year on the disabled list. That's very impressive.
Told me today that when we saw him in October, he was about 30 pounds heavier. And as you say, they're all that inactivity. And he's gotten himself into great shape, had himself a solid minor league run. Already has a big league home run.
This is going to be a test for him today because Nuno likes to change speeds, likes to put that thought in your mind of the slider, changeup, curveball. He's going to get a lot of looks. Saw that first pitch fastball, and I think that's the change that you got to have. You got to trust that you can look for the fastball and adjust to that breaking ball for the hitters.
2-2 from Nuno, and it's lifted shallow right field. Backpedaling is Pennington. Puts it away, and Liriano the second out here in the second. It's time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SDFanPhoto. Chance to have it shown in our broadcast, and it's brought to you by our friends over at AT&T. Padres fans love to see all that Brad and yellow away from Petco Park.
Yellow.
Chris Nelson. Chris Nelson, a former first-round pick. We've seen him in the big leagues with the Colorado Rockies. He's 1 for 7 on this road trip. Didn't play last night. Nelson, one of the players that Buddy and new GM A.J. Preller getting an opportunity to evaluate. moving forward. A lot of considerations now with this team. Some new faces. Got Hervis Solarte, Chris Nelson. And this ball is bounced. Here's Gregorius, fine defender, and shows you why right there as he'll get Nelson. Second consecutive inning, the Padres go down in order. They trail 1-0.
There you go. Yeah, I love painters.
You a face painter when it comes to football season?
No, not at all. I love football, but surprising that you aren't. Are you a face painter?
No,
I think
chase
you are.
painter. I'm a chase painter. No question about it.
No.
My old Clemson Tigers.
Don't do that.
Don't think you won't get that in your Christmas card this year. Oh, believe it.
Hey, Peavy's leaving the building.
Bottom of the second inning. Rookie Jake Lamb, Didi Gregorius, and the pitcher slot, Fidel Nuno to face Andrew Cashner.
Oh, Mike, so many times in younger players, you see Jake Lamb and done a lot of great things in the minor leagues, got an opportunity to come up to the big leagues. But in talking to the Diamondbacks people, they really like this young man, but there's a lot of adjustments he's got to make. A longer swing. He's been exposed to a lot of strikeouts at this level.
It's this one deep to right field. Liriano looking up, and it is gone. Jake Lamb made the adjustment, and he leaves the ballpark. He gives the Diamondbacks a 2-0 lead.
Well, with that longer swing, especially on an off-speed pitch, you're going to see some power, and that's the reason why the Diamondbacks like this young man and making adjustments at this big league level. Take a look at this pitch. The changeup elevated. And a good adjustment. You see the longer swing, the nice stride, and it's a smooth swing, but just a little bit long and exposed to fastballs. He deposits that changeup right into the pool area.
Well, for Lamb, that's his first career big league home run. Jake Lamb off the schneid. Here's Didi Gregorius.
You see all the guys giving the business. What a great moment it is for Jake Lamb for his first major league home run. We talked about Liriano and having his at home. That's a nice little feather in the cap for Jake Lamb. Yeah. Manager's just asking for the ball, and there he is doing the high fives to nobody. I love hijinks.
What's that do for a hitter psychologically, just to get that first one under your belt?
Well, it's just you belong. I mean, that feeling, I can't tell you how important it is for younger players to feel like they belong at this level.
Bouncing ball, Solarte. And he'll retire Gregorius. One down here in the bottom of the second.
Like, there's so many times that you go through experiences, and then there's some younger guys that'll come up and they'll light it up. There's also guys that come up with big numbers in the minor leagues that fail at this level. It's very emotionally hard to stay in the big leagues. And for these younger guys getting opportunities, for the Diamondbacks and also the Padres, you want to stay here. You do not want to go down to the minor leagues again. And those big moments in embracing those challenges at the big league level are very important for these young men.
Nuno, the pitcher, 0-2. And
that's the reason why you got the big smile. Can never take away that moment. And as a young kid dreaming about being in the big league level and then actually doing it, you remember it the rest of your life.
0-2 to Nuno. And he'll wrap this ball through the right side. So that's his first big league hit. Nuno opened the season as a member of the Yankees, so didn't get any at-bats, and has made now his 9th start for the Diamondbacks here in the NL, and it's his first big league hit.
Yeah, I'm not questioning too many pitches, but a curveball slider combination that's elevated to Nuno that does not have a major league hit. I question that call right there. I don't know if he just wanted to throw it. The breaking ball command tonight early in this game for Andrew Cashner is not very good.
So Nuno aboard, top of the lineup. Ender Inciarte. And a leadoff double and scored. Goes out to center field. Maben is drifting back. And he'll corral it. 2 down.
Catch every strikeout, every game ender, and every history-making moment on MLB Whip Around weeknights at 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
You got your hand in that honey pot a little bit too, don't you?
I got in there. Whip Around. It's a lot of fun.
Working with the Hall
Fox
of Famer,
Sports 1. Oh, yeah. Frank Thomas. Got to talk about how many great moments he had, his speech at the Hall of Fame ceremonies.
Well, that was emotional.
He said he had to condense it into 10 minutes.
Pennington, once foul.
You think about the careers that these guys have, and Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine going in also with Frank Thomas, and as players, and they had to condense all of their thank yous and their emotions into 10 minutes. And he said it was one of the hardest things because he had so many people to thank. He actually had to cut names out of it. But he was very emotional, and it was a pretty awesome moment. If anyone's been around Frank Thomas, a gentle giant and a first-class individual.
So Joe Torre, one of those who goes into the Hall of Fame this year, and then today he has his number retired, number 6, at a monument at Yankee Stadium. For 12 years as a Yankee manager, 4 World Series titles, playoffs every year.
Doesn't it seem like they have a retirement every single day, the Yankees?
They could. They could, yeah.
Are they running out of space and numbers?
Monument Park.
Listen, I've been around Joe Torre. He was a manager in the Dodgers and first class. I learned a lot about treating people the right way. A tremendous man.
Amarista to Medica. They'll get Pennington. But the Diamondbacks pick up a solo home run by the rookie off of Andrew Cashner. Jake Lamb makes it 2-0. The three-game set between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. San Diego trails 2-0 here, top of the third inning. Vidal Nuno, the left-hander for the Diamondbacks, averaged last season a little more than 4 strikeouts per 9 innings. This season up to 7.11 strikeouts per 9, our Saquon Vacation strikeout stat of the game. He has 1 strikeout so far tonight. It'll be Cameron Maybin, Alexi Amarista, and Andrew Cashner here at the top of the third. That ball solidly left field. Charging, diving, can't make the catch is Marte. And Cameron Maybin has the Padres' first hit tonight.
Yeah, good to see Cameron Maybin being aggressive tonight. He had a pinch hit appearance last night that he struck out on, but coming up with a certain purpose today. A solid line drive to left field. Take a look at the swing. That fastball that's out over the plate. I talked to people about pulling the baseball tonight correctly, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Marte got lucky on this ball. That gets by him. That might be a triple.
Alexi Amarista. Now you make a great point right there for Alfredo Marte. With a guy who runs like Cameron Maybin. Nice job in the end, just playing out on the short hop.
Well, you got to get a glove on it. Young man committed to dive and ended up getting a glove on it and keeping it in front.
Marte, one of those young players that Kirk Gibson and company taking a look at moving forward. Gerardo Parra traded. Martin Prado traded. Amarista right side. Pennington to Trumbo. That'll move Cameron over to second base. 1 out. So we saw Jake Lamb with a home run and a silent treatment. Andrew Cashner last year.
Now, this was an absolute bomb off Josh Colmenter. He comes in. He misses Everett Cabrera. Hey, yeah, whatever. Then he comes in. Silent treatment. I love it. You can see him without the mullet, too. Exciting moment for Andrew Cashner.
Well, the mullet has made a huge return.
Well, he takes a lot of pride in the batter's box. You know, especially with the left-hander tonight, you might see him try to push bunt. Can also swing the bat, as we just saw.
Oh, and he was healthy. It was so much fun to watch he and the other pitchers get into the hitting competition with Tyson Ross and Eric Stoltz, Ian Kennedy. He kind of leads the charge, though.
You're exactly right.
2-0 from Nuno. Well, everything is somewhat new again, I would imagine, for Cashner, including getting in the batter's box.
It probably feels like you've never played the game before.
2 months is a long time to be on the disabled list.
It is. Well, yeah, you take a look at Andrew Cashner. That's the wrong photo.
Who is that guy?
No idea. Yeah, and then they went to the generic logo. You got to love that.
How do you not have a picture of Andrew Cashner?
It's a game of adjustments. Scoreboard operators having a tough night, just like all of us.
Come on, it's the big leagues. Shake it up.
Why are you yelling at him?
He needs to do a better job.
So do we.
Oh, there's no doubt. We're struggling.
There they are. They're searching for his photo. Panic. Yeah, take a photo of Cashner, put it up on the board.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Efforting.
They got their best people on it.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this is rifled off his front foot. But it's that cutting action of the fastball. See where he takes it off the front, right off that ankle. That does not feel good. He takes a walk over to Glenn Hoffman, the third base coach. Now Todd Hutchinson, the head trainer, comes out. Take a look. Yeah, a little bit of laughter, checking in, and Andrew Kashner's like, what else can go wrong tonight?
Poor guy, a sore pitching elbow, then a sore shoulder, gets him on the DL twice. And in his first at bat, he goes off the shin. Looks to be fine. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Cameron Maybin at second base.
He tried to throw that slow breaking ball in there. See if he could catch Andrew Kashner out front. 3-2. He's got a nice at bat going right now.
Eighth pitch of the at bat right there, fouled away.
Man, he pulls his hands in inside that pitch. You got to credit Andrew Kashner jumping up that pitch count. It might come into play later in the game. 34 pitches on the night by Nuno.
Here's a 3-2 to Kashner, and he swings through it. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Nuno tonight. Hey fans, Sunday, August 31st is U.S. Air Force and Air National Guard Appreciation Day. It's presented by USAA. Hope you'll join us for a special pregame ceremony. It'll honor the men and women who serve in the U.S. Air Force and, of course, the Air National Guard. It'll be right before your Padres take the field against the Dodgers, 1:10. So get your tickets today, Padres.com, or you can call 619-795-5555. And as always, we thank all the men and women who serve this country. Now Hervis Solarte, top of the order.
We try to do our little part, Mike, with the military, and as we see, we thank all of our military. So I went military socks today, camo socks.
You're taking a page out of Mark Grant's book, but I like it.
No,
yeah,
I'm just bald and named Mark, but I went camo socks today.
Solarte down the line to third baseman Jake Lamb. Solarte retired. The Padres do pick up their first hit so far tonight. They trail 2-0.
The fastballs. This is a 3-1 count. Inciarte doubles to lead off the game and then gets another hitter's count. And Pennington ends up hitting an RBI single to right field, and you see the movement on the pitches, not downward. You're seeing side to side. Then the changeup comes to Jake Lamb for his first home run in his major league career. For Andrew Cashner, just getting behind in counts, you see the frustration, but it's very important for him to get in the rhythm and benefit with this start moving forward.
2-0 ball game, bottom of the third inning. David Peralta, Mark Trumbo, and Miguel Montero to face Cashner here. A couple of fresh faces impressing the Diamondbacks brass, which includes now Tony La Russa and Peralta among them. Top spin rip into right field, so Peralta picks up a base hit.
Well, Mike, so many people are talking about this young man as one of the Rookie of the Year favorites and what he's done and an impact. But if you look at the Rookie of the Year candidates this year, Billy Hamilton, to me, was up on opening day and has really done a tremendous job for the Cincinnati Reds at top of the order. Colton Wong has done a nice job for St. Louis. But David Peralta opening a lot of eyes. DeGrom has done a nice job. He is on the shelf. And our own Jesse Hahn, tremendous job while he's been pitching, and now on that innings limit. That's probably the reason why he's down. You'll probably see him up in September. But a lot of great things happening for these young players in the game of baseball. Always fun to watch the new faces.
You know, the number that you didn't see there on Billy Hamilton, which really is the number you do want to see, right, is stolen bases, because that's what his mark really is. He's second in baseball with 49, behind only D. Gordon, who has 57.
Well, I think he's answered all of those questions in the big leagues, because a lot of people said he was going to struggle offensively at this big league level, and he has met all of those challenges, and when he gets on base, he can change a game, and I think that's the reason why he's a clear-cut favorite to win that award.
0-2 to Mark Trumbo. Out to right field. Liriano diving, makes the play. Wow, this young man is exciting and not afraid to leave his feet. We've seen it before in just his 11th major league game. Big catch.
Well, Mike, we saw it in L.A. the other night. Going forward, this is a very difficult play. Liriano selling out for Andrew Cashner, and he loves that effort. But what a tremendous play, as you said, leaving his feet and coming up with a big grab that can change a lot of emotion in this game, especially for Andrew Cashner. Coming across his body and getting that glove in position and squeezing it tight. Sticking the landing.
He's giving it his all as Liriano. We've seen him bound into the walls, the right field line. As you pointed out there, making a couple of nice diving grabs.
He's been very aggressive in the outfield. Good jumps. It's not just offensively you're being evaluated when you come up to the big league level. He's done a very good job infusing some energy into this lineup. Plays like that will help.
Montero, right field. Liriano up with it. And a long throw offline to third base, but Nelson able to corral it. So Peralta stops at second. Reimer Liriano keeps him there, and Miguel Montero base hit. Now we've seen the young outfielders throw some flashes of brilliance out there between Reimer Liriano, and then you saw David Peralta last night, a great throw to get Alexi Amarista, who was trying to go first to third. Reimer, a lot of fun to watch. We're talking about Peralta's throw last night. This is a former pitcher, by the way, who's in right field now.
Yeah, and you can see that strong arm taking that long hop, and on our Fox vision you can see Alexi Amarista looks like he had a pretty good beat on third base, and then that strong throw nabbing him at third base, limiting the offense for the Padres last night. Former pitcher, obviously he's got the arm to prove it.
If you weren't with us last night, he's a fantastic story. Released after a couple of arm surgeries as a pitcher in the Cardinals organization. Left baseball for 4 years, came back, as you see, as a hitter. like Rick Ankiel without the time off.
Yeah, not many people can do that, and came from an independent league last year, signed by the Diamondbacks, and playing single A baseball last year, and now at the big league level performing at a high level. Coming in tonight, not only is he hitting third in this lineup, 286, 7 home runs, 32 RBIs.
Kirk Gibson likes what he sees from Peralta. And a line drive right at Amarista. Everybody able to get back safely. So Amarista makes the only play he can as the catch of the line drive off the bat of Alfredo Marte, and 2 are out. That'll bring up the rookie, Jake Lamb.
Now just a nice swing on a changeup, and you can see the balance. A nice swing, and the result, and his teammates give him the silent treatment.
Two on, 2 out. By Rene Rivera, about as durable as they come.
I think he got hit in the heel right here. He's pointing to the umpire, and he comes out throwing. That foul tip hits him right on the heel of the hand as he winces. I don't know how these guys catch and the foul balls and hitting themselves with all of that armor on. You get beat up every single night. And hey, by the way, you got to go up there and be successful at swinging the bat while your hands hurts.
Now they call the equipment the tools of ignorance.
Yeah. I think the ignorance part is getting back there.
Believe it. 0-2 to Lamb.
That looked like a good pitch.
Wow.
96 on the edge, and you see Andrew Cashner reaching back.
Marty Foster behind the plate saw something differently. Maybe down?
I don't think that's down. And credit Rene Rivera. Right on the corner on our Fox tracks, number 3.
Out to center field, Cameron Maben. Long, lanky strides. He'll put it away on the run. Reimer Liriano providing the defensive sparkle in that half inning. Watch this catch one more time. Oh, yeah, what a play. Diamondbacks lead 2-0. I really hope you're going to join us on Saturday when the Dodgers come into town, take on the Padres at Petco Park. We've got a special hour-long Padres Live because
Trevor Hoffman is being honored. No one more deserving. He's going to enter the Padres Hall of Fame. We've got a great pregame show. We're going to have the full on-field ceremony for you. Trevor Hoffman, Padres Hall of Fame, Saturday against the Dodgers at Petco.
I think anyone that's been around Trevor Hoffman, both professionally and just as a person, is going to be there as we see the big brother coaching third base. It's going to be a great moment. Everyone has to come out and watch that ceremony. Just another stepping stone into what I believe is going to be a no-brainer first ballot Hall of Famer.
Has to be, right?
No question. Tremendous teammate, tremendous person. And he did it as good as anybody.
There goes Almonte. Third strikeout tonight for Nuno. And Abraham looked like he wanted to check up on that swing and just couldn't.
Well, you're seeing Nuno put these Padre hitters away with that curveball late in the counts. That downward action, and it has depth. A check swing by Almonte.
One out. Here's Tommy Medica. We talked about this a bit yesterday. He had a pinch hitting appearance, struck out. And a couple of weeks back, he was hitting the back of the helmet against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Says he was fine. But on this road trip, 1 for 17 coming into the game today. Just a little bit off, it seems.
Well, I think that's probably one of the reasons why, and it's not necessarily an intimidation factor because he doesn't scare off in the batter's box. But just the change of what happened, he was locked in up to that moment. And yes, Tommy Medica is one of those guys that's hot and cold, and when he's hot, they're extended hot periods. But even that walk has to feel good right now.
And the Padres need base runners. Just a base hit by Maben. Always want to say thank you to those who serve, and all of a sudden Mark Sweeney become even more patriotic. You're already a patriotic guy.
I am.
You kind of raised the bar a little bit today. Those socks you're wearing. Rene Rivera outside, ball 1.
Well, I got my green tie on and I got my green socks, and it's military socks. I mean, I see the military just doing a little bit of giving back because they give us a lot and we thank them.
Of course we do. You're just doing your part.
I love the camo jerseys the Padres wear on Sundays. It's one of my favorite moments. It's doing a little part, so I'll try to get you some. Maybe you can do your part.
Oh, I support them. You bet. And the camo ties. I think if Mark Grant sees you wearing those socks, though, I'm pretty sure I know it'll be in your holiday gift basket.
I just show you the socks. I'm not going to go around and show Grant my socks.
You know, if he sees you wearing those socks, he's going to ask you to wear a pocket square. That'll be next.
It's negative. It's not going to happen.
2 balls, no strikes to Rivera here in the 4th. Shattered bat right at the pitcher Nuno. And he'll double off Medica. That's a scary play, but Nuno able to make that play despite the concern and distraction by the shattered bat. Diamondbacks lead 2-0.
Chris Mark, thank you very much. So Cashner to face Gregorius, Nuno, and Inciarte here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Oh, Mark Loretta makes a good point. You look at the secondary stuff, and I thought that was going to be a little off. And you see the fastball, the velocity is there for Andrew Cashner. He's got movement, but a lot of it's been side to side, especially behind in counts. See the velocity, 97 on the fastball, plenty of that, and the low of 84. But the consistency of that break, you're not seeing a lot of swings and misses by the Diamondbacks. See Inciarte flying out. De Gregorius flying out to left field. Excuse me.
Cashner does seem to be settling in a bit. First inning, 1 of 6 first pitch strikes. Innings 2 and 3, 8 of 10.
Well, you can see, Mike, the pitch arsenal tonight heavy on the fastball, and I love seeing that. It's not just rearing back and throwing the fastball. That's exactly what Andrew Cashner did coming out of the bullpen. Now as a starter, he's made some nice adjustments with Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, with moving the fastball around to both sides of the plate and relying on that sinking action of his fastball.
Nuno out to left field. Almonte gives it a run and a pop at track. 2 down.
It's time to take our look at Cholula Flamethrower by Andrew Cashner. Let's take a look at that. 97 miles an hour. That's hot sauce.
Those are 20 pitches over 95 today. There is something I think unique about his ability to run a pitch up there with that velocity with what seems to be such an easy flowing effort.
Well, we saw triple digits out of the bullpen by Andrew Cashner. Most pitchers will back off and then work off command to both sides of the plate. As he gets that slider in for strike 1. But he has opportunities to reach back and add and subtract with fastballs.
You saw Inciarte motion for time, but Marty Foster didn't give it.
Yeah, and I like he didn't give it because Andrew Cashner was engaged and already in his motion. If you're in the batter's box, you got to be ready.
Amarista in shallow left. Wave off Almonte and put it away. So for Andrew Cashner, his first 1, 2, 3 innings, returning from the disabled list. Real friendly, real close. By Jack in the Box. Try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club combo, just $4.99 plus tax. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. Visit us at aramco.biz. Inside Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. The Diamondbacks lead 2-0. Padres fans looking for a little bit of offense. San Diego lost 5-1 last night. 1 run came in the 9th inning. Trying to get something going here in the top of the 5th. Reimer Liriano, Chris Nelson, Cameron Maben. His only big league home run. We saw Jake Lamb hit one for the Diamondbacks today, and Reimer Liriano has one to his credit.
Yeah, handling that fastball in with that short swing and going up top the Western Metal Supply Company building.
Out to center field, it's Ciarte. 1 down. I talked to Reimer before the game. He said he didn't get that one.
Yeah, right.
That's what he said. He said, I just got my hands in, and I just didn't hit it that well. He said to me, you watch if I can get extended. I said, wow.
Mike, let's put it this way. He got it.
I
You
thought
hit
he
into
did.
the upper deck of the Western Metal Supply Company building. You got it. I hope I see a lot further ones. I want him to go over the building. But I think he got that one. I think it surprised himself a little bit with that fastball in.
Chris Nelson, right field corner to David Peralta. 2 down. Well, I thought the very same thing when he said, really, you didn't get that? You're kidding me, right?
Well, let's put it this way. If I'm at shortstop and I hit my best bolt, I can't even get it up there.
Hey, you want to talk about long home runs. We mentioned this yesterday. And Cameron Maben, 485 feet.
Well, this was the adjustment from going from a leg kick to keeping his front foot on the ground, and what a great result. As you see, 485-foot home run.
That's the 4th longest in Chase Field history. We were wondering who the hitters are ahead of Cameron Maben. Adam Dunn, 504 feet. You played with Richie Sexton.
Yeah, you know what? I saw that one. It was off the scoreboard, and how impressive that was by Richie Sexton. Obviously, Adam Dunn is a power hitter as well, but Richie Sexton was an absolute bomb.
Gregorius underneath it. Padres down in order again. Trail 2-0.
Ram trucks, and we're going to take a look at Rene Rivera up at Chavez Ravine the other night and throwing out absolute strikes to second base, nabbing Carl Crawford, and then also D. Gordon with a perfect throw to second base. Our tools of the trade. Back to you, Mike. Beep, beep.
Love to watch him throw. Love to watch Rene throw. Is that from Bugs Bunny? Roadrunner?
Well, it can be.
Yeah, saw you working. Andrew Cashner and the Padres trail 2-0, bottom of the 5th inning. Cliff Pennington swings through a changeup from Andrew Cashner. Pennington, base hit, RBI.
Let's go back to Andrew Cashner's 1-1 pitch, which I thought was very important. The arm speed on this changeup and the depth. That's the A changeup by Andrew Cashner, and blowing him away with a fastball.
Well, Pennington down. That's the first strikeout for Andrew Cashner tonight. A little surprising, as Andrew could certainly punch a few tickets, but tonight waits till the 5th to get his first. Pitch count by inning, very efficient in the 4th. 8 pitches. David Peralta. I don't know if you've had a chance to check out some of the action across baseball, but the Detroit Tigers beaten last night by the Minnesota Twins.
They're in some trouble.
Out in center field. 2 down. Beaten by the Twins, Mark, 20-6. 20-6 the final. So they have a double header today.
Of course they do.
Game 1, beaten by the Twins again, 12-4.
Yep.
And they are tied right now in the 3rd, 2-2.
Yeah, and the reason for that, you look at Detroit, 3 games back of Kansas City, and Kansas City is playing solid baseball with a great bullpen. But Detroit expected to not only make the playoffs, but go deep in the playoffs, and they're scuffling under first-year manager Brad Ausmus.
Some injuries there, too, certainly a concern. Anibal Sanchez, one of their starters, Joaquin Soria, closer. As mentioned, Justin Verlander not quite right.
Well, that's the reason why they went out and got David Price at the trading deadline. Add to their depth. They still have David Price, Max Scherzer. But the back end of that rotation has been getting absolutely mauled lately.
Kansas City Royals leading the Central by 2.5. Up now to 3 games because of the loss in the doubleheader. Well, the Royals have been an interesting story.
Well, I don't think a lot of people are buying into them, and also the Milwaukee Brewers, and why not? They're actually playing consistent baseball, and at a time where it's very important to win every ball game. It's scoreboard watching time.
Remember last time Mark Trumbo was up, tried to sneak one past Reimer Liriano, and the rookie wasn't having it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good piece of hitting by Trumbo and a better defensive play by Reimer Liriano. Squeezing that ball as he sticks to landing, and Andrew Cashner loves that effort.
This time Trumbo will try the other side, and Almonte can't come up with it. He's still down. Hopefully he's not hurt. Trumbo around second, and he'll pull into third, but Almonte remains on the ground. Went into left center, try to make a play, and Cameron Maven helps him up.
Well, Mike, I'm wondering what happened on this play, because he actually gets a really good jump, and then he starts coming in for it and doesn't look like he picks the ball up. Sometimes outfielders will put their head down to try to get into the gap. But that did not look good, and giving up a triple to Mark Trumbo to left field. We've seen Almonte make some really good plays in the outfield, and going back on the balls he's had trouble, as you take a look at the divot in left center. Kind of an odd play by Almonte.
He's made some of those good plays you talk about. He's had a few that have been rather adventurous for Buddy Black. So that scored a triple. Trumbo, third base, 2 out for Miguel Montero. They'll put Montero aboard. And they'll rather work to Alfredo Marte.
Well, why not, Mike? Walk in his first at bat, and then a ringing line drive to right field with Montero. He's swinging the bat well. He had the home run yesterday with the base open and 2 outs. Why not pick your poison and go after the rookie?
Second walk. This one intentional for Montero and by Cashner.
I've seen some nice defensive plays by the Padres, and Nelson in the first inning limiting that big inning for the Diamondbacks with a spectacular play, and Andrew Cashner gets out of the first inning. Again, the defense for the Padres. We talk about the pitching all the time, but you have to defend behind that solid pitching. We've seen some stellar plays tonight.
So Cashner now at 87 pitches. So a little bit of action in the Padre pen. Remember at the outset, Buddy Blackett said he's hoping to see about 90 pitches or so, and Tim Stauffer will get loose. And Buddy thought he'd maybe get him into the sixth, and he's doing about what Buddy had hoped. Bottom of the fifth inning, 2 outs. Solarte. Nice play to retire Marte. So the triple and the intentional walk, no damage. Padres trail 2-0. Second base. Drive went through to right field, and Ciarte who come around to score. Diamondbacks took a 1-0 lead. Then into second, Jake Lamb leading things off. His first big league home run. Just over the outstretched glove of Reimer Liriano, 2-0. And that would be enough to this point for the Diamondbacks starting pitcher, Fidel Nuno. And he's been dealing, allowing just 1 hit so far, a single to Cameron Maven. He struck out 3 and he's walked 1. Del Nuno back on the mound here at the top of the 6th inning. They'll face Alexi Amarista.
A lot of the Diamondbacks said that Nuno is a strike thrower, as we see Jake Gobert on deck in the pitcher spot. Andrew Cashner with his night. Looks like it's through for Nuno, throwing strikes tonight, getting ahead of these Padre hitters and trying to take the aggressiveness away from the Padres.
Nuno in his 9th start for the Diamondbacks, 0-3. And he misses up high, so count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Amarista.
See if he goes back to that 2-strike slider or that curveball. Oh, goes to the fastball.
Down goes Amarista. Strikeout number 4 for Nuno. I'll bring up Jake Gobert. He's hitting for Andrew Kashner. Andrew throws 5 innings, throws 88 pitches, allows 7 hits, a couple of runs, both earned, 2 walks and a strikeout.
Jake Gobert 5 for 13 coming off the bench with 2 RBIs.
Overall, how would you grade Andrew's night?
I thought Andrew was very good, especially with the fastball, and I say very good because I watched the fastball, the velocity. You see Dave Roberts having discussions with them, what great chemistry they have. But the secondary pitches not consistent enough, and that's typical of coming off the disabled list and getting into that start. I didn't see that crispness on the slider, but we know what he can do when everything is working. You think about that Detroit start that he went 9 solid innings. Last year's start against Pittsburgh. A lot to love about Andrew Kashner, and I think he's going to be critical of how he made mistakes out over the plate tonight.
Talking things over with his catcher, Rene Rivera. Curious to hear what they have to say on Padres Live, the postgame show. There's only really one concern, I would imagine, for Buddy Black, and that is, how does Andrew Kashner feel tomorrow?
Yes. Anytime someone comes off the disabled list, it's how you feel. Jake Gobert fouls off that 2-strike curveball. But for Bud Black, having those conversations, you know, if you think he's on a pitch count, you know he's not at full strength yet. And you want your guys to go out there and really not have restrictions. But I thought Andrew Kashner did some really nice things moving forward and limiting the Diamondbacks to only 2 runs.
Gobert hits it well to center field, but Inciarte will put it away ahead of the track. And 2 are down. Yangervis Solarte, top of the order for the Padres. Yangervis bounced out to third base twice. I would imagine, too, for Andrew Kashner, you've got to come away after the frustration, the heat of battle. You've got to come away feeling good about your pitch count.
Definitely.
Keeping your team in the ball game. And hopefully you feel well. Well, for the 3rd time tonight, Solarte finds Jake Lamb over at third base. And again, the Padres go in order. We move to the bottom of the 6th. The Padres trail 2-0. Chris, Mark, thank you very much. So a pitching change. Andrew Cashner's night done.
And brought to you by Drew Ford. Last time out for Tim Stauffer was last Sunday in St. Louis. He did not pitch in Los Angeles, as you see the numbers. 32 games, only 3 starts. Very important outing for Tim Stauffer to get some work in.
Lamb to Solarte. One down, so Tim Stauffer retires Lamb first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Why I say it's important is for Tim Stauffer just to get some rhythm and timing himself. And coming into this game, knowing Andrew Cashner was on a pitch count, all hands on deck, especially for Tim Stauffer tonight. Coming in and trying to give some innings to this Padre bullpen.
Diamondback shortstop Didi Gregorius 0 for 2. So Stauffer, well, that's a challenging role to be in, I think, and that is the middle inning guy. You never know when you're going to go. So like we saw there, and Mark had mentioned, you wait a week between appearances. Short guy, you kind of know the situation's going to get you busy. And Gregorius out to left center. Maben puts it away, 2 down.
Oh, nice first step by Cameron Maben. Off the left-handed bat by Gregorius. Easy for me to say. That first step and watching Cameron Maben patrol center field. That's a good sign. We take a look at the break by Cameron Maben. Going the other direction and covering the gaps.
Here's the pitcher, Fidel Nuno. Nuno got his first big league hit in the 2nd. He's 1 for 2. Sharply, but right at Solarte. That's a nice job, Tim Stauffer. Retire the Diamondbacks in order. And it's brought to you tonight by Petco, the power of together, and by your San Diego Lexus dealer. Saturday in Arizona. The story of the night, once again, the Diamondbacks pitching, and it's Fidel Nuno who is acquired upon the trade of Brandon McCarthy. McCarthy going to the Yankees. 5-2 with a 1.9 ERA. So McCarthy has been lights out in New York. Nuno has pitched well here in Arizona, but he doesn't have anything to show for it. 0-3 in 8 starts.
Yeah, that record doesn't indicate how he's pitched, and you can see him tonight dominating the Padres lineup to this point, but only a 2-run lead.
just one hit allowed so far and one walk. Cameron Maven with a leadoff single in the third and a walk to Tommy Medica in the fourth. Kind of a cue shot. Almonte's gone, one down.
Let's revisit the keys of the game. Brought to you by the Honda dealers of San Diego County, keeping the emotions. Andrew Cashner, I think he did a nice job, especially getting out of that first inning with only one run, and pull side hitting for the right-handed hitters. One single and only 5 hits in the series so far for the Padres hitters. It's been a struggle.
Padres with hits in only 3 of the 15 innings so far this series. 5 total hits, and Medica lifts this ball to right field. It's David Peralta, 2 away. Checking out action around baseball. We've touched on the American League Central. The Royals have a 3-game lead now over the Detroit Tigers. In the East, Baltimore pulling away. They come into action today, 8 games up on the Yankees, but some bad news for Orioles fans today. Manny Machado found out he's going to be gone for the year. He's going to have surgery on his right knee, Mark.
Yeah, that's the opposite knee that he had surgery on last year. And we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. The Orioles, devastating news because that's a middle-of-the-order bat moving forward. They're winning that division almost by default, because the other teams have really fallen off. The Red Sox have had a horrible year. The Rays under Joe Madden, who I think is one of the best managers in baseball. But the Orioles now moving forward with not a dominant #1 starter. That division is definitely weaker.
Here's Gregorius up with it. He'll throw out Rivera. And again, down go the Padres in order. Diamondbacks lead 2-0. Andrew Cashner, the big story coming into this ball game, returning from the disabled list, first mound appearance since June 18th, Mark, and able to go through 5 innings.
Yeah, saw the mistake to Jake Lamb, the changeup that just sat over the middle of the plate, but then settled in, saw some ground balls late, some good defense behind him, and also in tougher situations for Andrew Cashner. He bared down in big spin situations moving forward. I think this is a good start for him to build on, and hopefully tomorrow he feels just as strong as he felt today.
That's a great point, and that's what we'll be keeping an eye on. Bouncing ball through the left side into Inciarte. Leadoff single in the bottom of the 7th inning against Tim Stauffer. Inciarte, another one of those young players that Kirk Gibson and Tony La Russa keeping an eye on. We've mentioned David Peralta, but Inciarte brings a little bit of excitement as well, Mark.
Yeah, Mike, 56 hits on the season. That is second in the National League in rookies. Pretty impressive, and I know his manager is very impressed with the way he's made some adjustments in the game.
Medica bobbles it, can't come up with it, and he gets Pennington. He does. Medica just could not find a handle. I don't know if he was looking to rush the throw to second base, but take another look.
This is a ball that is coming off the bag, and he wanted to throw this ball before he fielded it and ends up getting the out. I think Inciarte's speed to second base sped that up just a little bit for Tommy Medica. Gets an out, which is very important.
Well, Tommy, like Jake Gobert, trying to find a position. Both pretty good hitters, and Tommy spending some time between first and left field.
You know, Mike, I can say from experience of playing first base, as we see the NL rookie leaders in the game, Inciarte, Peralta, number 2, number 3, but playing first base is not an easy position, especially if you don't get a lot of playing time over there. As you see Medica ranging over, making the catch.
A nice job there by Tommy Medica, right along the wall. So Peralta's retired, 2 out.
Well, you see him ranging over here, and you got to contend with that wall that's right there as you see him trying to catch his steps and give his concentration level at that wall. Then turns and fires a strike to third base in case that guy on second base was tagging. But getting back to my point, Mike, not playing every single day at first base. The speed of the game can come into play a lot, and you have to be able to make the plays you're supposed to make. And to your point, having Jake Gobert getting playing time over there, Tommy Medica with the Yonder Alonso injury, these guys are going to have to take extra work, get extra ground balls, try to slow the game down as much as you can. And again, making the outs that you're supposed to make, making the plays you're supposed to make.
2-0 to Mark Trumbo. Trumbo credited with a triple on a ball out to left center field that Abraham Almonte appeared to have a little trouble with. Thought he might make a play there, but he doesn't. Ruled a triple. Now back to your point on getting comfortable with repetitions at first base and slowing the game down. I know it varies player to player, but in general, how long does it typically take a guy to get comfortable just in his own skin at the big league level?
Well, I came up as an outfielder and had to learn the position really at the big league level. I did play a little bit of first base as a younger player, but getting repetitions over there is very important. And so many people are like, well, if you can hit, you can play first base. The different throws from the infielders, picking balls in the dirt. There's so many things that are involved in playing a position athletically. And I think you have to put a lot of time into it. That's the reason why you got to get with your infielders coach, which Glenn Hoffman does a great job with these guys, getting the reps, getting your ground balls.
Mark Trumbo down on strikes. We move down to the 8th. Reimer Liriano lead things off when we come back. Oh, we're confident you can.
Hey, Chris has passed a lot of tests all year.
Hey, look, she hangs
dealing
out
with us.
Yeah, I was going to say she hangs out with us. That's an A+ right there. She's hanging in there and pick the stick despite the ribbing you give her.
No, I think she's quitting.
I can't believe you'd say that. She won yesterday.
She did. I was happy for her.
Reimer Liriano, Chris Nelson, Cameron Maven here in the top of the 8th inning against Vidal Nuno. Nuno to this point has allowed only a base hit to Maven. Now, Mark Loretta made the point that the Diamondbacks do not hold up late in ball games. They lead after 6. They're 40-11. They lead after 7, 39-7. By comparison, Padres are 46-2 when they lead after 7.
Well, Reimer Liriano hit by a pitch, and that might be a break that the Padres need as Bud Black looks to try to steal a win here for the Padres.
So 3 base runners.
Now you see this fastball riding in on Liriano. Hits that back arm.
Just the 3rd base runner for the Padres. Walk to Medica. Liriano hit here. And with 1 on, 3rd baseman Chris Nelson.
You see Brad Ziegler warming up in the Diamondbacks pen after that hit by pitch. That is a guy that Kirk Gibson likes to use out of the bullpen with that sidearm delivery.
And he has a closer, Addison Reed from San Diego State University.
Well, you look at Buddy Black's bench, and he still has Seth Smith and Will Venable on the left side. Yasmani Grandal also can be a left-handed bat. Jed Jerko.
Softly, second baseman Pennington will put it away. 1 out. Well, folks, as we promised you earlier in the ball game, we have that AT&T fan photo of the game to show you. You can tweet your photo to #SDFanPhoto. Chance for it to be shown in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T. And Rosie had a kiss and a hug and a picture from a star.
San Diego Pollo.
It was great.
Outstanding.
Cameron Maven, the only hit in the game so far for the Padres. Base hit in the 3rd, Mark.
Yeah, you see this fastball that's elevated, and Cameron Maven takes that aggressive approach. And you can see in left field, Marte gets lucky keeping that ball in front. That could have been an easy triple if it gets by him.
Now Marte takes the risk and doesn't come up with it. Nick Vincent getting loose in the Padre bullpen.
That's that high changeup, and home plate umpire Marty Foster ends up giving him the strike call as we see Nick Vincent in the bullpen warming up.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Maven. Vidal Nuno, native of National City, 2nd round pick in 2009 by the Cleveland Indians. Nuno there with 3 innings in this ballgame so far, where he has thrown 7 or fewer pitches.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Full count, 1 out. Robert Liriano at first. This ball bounced right into perfect spot. The second hit of the game, the second one for Cameron Maybin, and the Padres have runners at first and second.
Yeah, and that's nice hitting by Cameron Maybin. He should be excited. Using his hands, going the other way, hitting that pitch where it was thrown, and just punching it through that hole. The side swing, he gets his foot down with that leg kick. Punches past Trumbo and the second baseman. Padres are in business.
Mike Harkey, the pitching coach, go out there and chat things over with his left-hander. And Cameron Maybin, Jose Valentin discuss the night. Yasmani Grandal waits on deck. Coming up tomorrow is the series finale, Mark, and it's going to be the former Diamondback, Ian Kennedy, against Chase Anderson.
Sorry, Mike, I'm excited for this start for Ian Kennedy, just to add that emotion of going against your former team. I've done that plenty of times, but for Ian Kennedy, it's a very important start. He felt like he was let go at a wrong time, and to the benefit of the Padres, he's in a Padres uniform now and can't wait for the start tomorrow, I'm sure.
Good trade for the Padres, picking up Kennedy for Joe Thatcher, Matt Stites. Stites still with the Diamondbacks, and Joe Thatcher has since moved on. Alexi Amarista, the hitter, 2 men on, 2-0 ball game. Jed Jerko now on deck. Great opportunity here for San Diego with 1 out in the 8th.
Well, you see the graphic here by the NL leaders, the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is something you don't want to lead in after 7 games, and the Padres need to do exactly that. Add to that statistic.
They've lost 7 times when leading after 7.
Well, Nuno has slowed down considerably in this inning. I don't know if he's just trying to grind through this inning or not. He's working at a good pace as we see Jed Jerko in the on-deck circle.
That certainly wouldn't be the pitch count. Nuno has exceeded 88 pitches several times.
Well, Mike, with Cameron Maybin on first, all it takes is a gap shot. That almost hit Amarista.
Lexi able to get out of the way.
An 86-mile-an-hour fastball up that got away from Nuno. And you watch Alexi doing his Matrix imitation.
For a guy who's had great command, only 1 walk so far tonight, he hits Liriano and gets very close to Amarista. Two and 2 the count now.
Yeah, the Padres have to capitalize now. You're watching the command, and it is wavering for Nuno. For Amarista, he has to stay in the at-bat. 3-2 count. This is a very important pitch. You can see all over the place by our Southland Technology Fox tracks.
And Amarista gets a favorable call. He's able to work the count. And the Padres have the bases loaded against Kirk Gibson and his Diamondbacks.
Yeah, decision time for the manager of the Diamondbacks with the bases loaded. Looks like he's going to the bullpen and going for the left-hander.
The Diamondbacks lead 2-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. The Padres, their first real threat today. Reimer Liriano hit by a pitch. Cameron Maybin a base hit. And the walk to Alexi Amarista. That will do it for the National City native. Fidel Nuno's night is done. Pitching change when we come back. Trail 2-0 in the top of the 8th, but they have the bases loaded now, Mark, and new pitcher.
Yeah, Oliver Perez coming out of the bullpen for Kirk Gibson, and this guy you can see against the righties, and that's the reason why coming in Jed Jerko is going to pinch hit. 173 against righties. Erratic command, fastball, slider, and he's going to try to get Jerko on the ground. You got to try to elevate this situation.
Well, Jed is the guy you want to see up in this spot. He's got a couple of grand slams. As you check out Nuno's night, 7 1/3, couple of hits. Right now, no runs, but all 3 base runners are his responsibility.
Yeah, let's put the loss on him. Why not? I'd like to see a gap shot right here by Jed Jerko. Clear the bases with Alexi Amarista on first, Cameron Maybin at second, and you can see Liriano at third.
Third pinch hit at bat for Jerko.
Yeah, he got the pitch right there. Elevated fastball. He took a good hack at it.
Big rip, strike 1.
Jed Jerko 0 for 2 in his at-bats this year, pinch hitting. Let's take a look at that first pitch fastball. Elevated. Tries to get on top of it, just on the top of the zone. Ooh. And you can see that delivery by Oliver Perez. He varies the deliveries. Has that low sidearm delivery, almost a little bit of 3/4. Changes those arm angles at times as well.
Liriano, Maybin, Amarista on base.
Fox tracks by Southland Technology. That ball in, trying to move Jed Jerko's feet. See if he goes to the slider down and in here.
Out he gets Jerko. Foul tip. Hung on to by Montero. A funky delivery by Perez, and he's able to get that pitch past him.
Yeah, let's take a look at pitch by our Foxland technology, and you can see the fastball up in the strike zone. And then he continues to pound that fastball with a different delivery, quickens it up a little bit, tries to expand it, and then goes on the outside edge and expands the strike zone for Jed Jerko.
So Jerko strikes out, top of the order. Yangervis Solarte. 0 for 3, is grounded out the third 3 times. And he takes strike 1 for Perez. And these 2 at bats for all the marbles so far in this one. Bases loaded.
Yeah, kind of come up with a big hit here.
And Perez quickly ahead of Solarte, 0-2.
Yeah, 2 fastballs taken.
Goes right at him, back up the box, and into center field. A base hit by Solarte. Around comes Maben, and we've got ourselves a tie ball game. Behind in the count, 0-2. Solarte delivers a bouncing ball up the box past Perez. Liriano scores, Maben scores, and we're knotted at 2.
Mike, you got to love this because it's great 2-strike hitting. You look at the elevated fastball that was asked. This is right down the middle. Uses the middle of the field. Solarte comes up with a huge hit for the Padres. RBI situations, you need big hits to win ball games. That's exactly what you do. And Cameron Maben, get in there. How about them Padres?
Another bouncing ball, closed by Gregorius. Will scoop it up, feed it over to Pennington at second base, and they'll get Solarte. But Yangervis delivers a 2-run base hit. We got a tie ball game. Play in a game just occurred. Yangervis Solarte with 2 outs, 2 strikes, and a bases loaded. Padres down by 2. A 2 RBI base hit. Bill Howe, play of the game. Oliver Perez ahead of Solarte, 0-2.
Yeah, and you got to love that. sticking with it and grinding out an at-bat. Let's take a look at Kevin Quackenbush coming off his first career save against the Dodgers Wednesday night, and you can see he has been outstanding. Lights out against lefties, 162 average. And in much better situations for Bud Black and his staff.
But Quackenbush should be challenged early. Miguel Montero is our top tier player profile, brought to you by Arco tonight. Third most games played all time for the Diamondbacks as you check out the rest of his numbers. The Arco player profile. Montero, Marte, and Lamb scheduled here. Bottom of the 8th inning.
You know, offensively for the Padres, very challenging against the starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks. But giving themselves an opportunity to come up with that big hit. You talk about the energy this lineup has given in the second half. That was one of the big moments in this series that they needed to have. They played flat baseball yesterday, which happens. Today it didn't look very good because Nuno was outstanding. Now it's a different ball game.
In on the fifth, Montero to third base. Nelson one away. Well, Kevin Quackenbush has been successful his entire way up the minor league system here at the big league level. But what impresses you most, the physical ability or the makeup?
I love the makeup. It's off the charts. And I talked to Willie Blair yesterday, the bullpen coach for the Padres. Said what makes him special, because he had him in the minor leagues, now at the big league level. That's exactly what he said. It's off the charts. I like how he handles himself on the mound. It's the intangibles that he brings. Obviously the stuff's there. The velocity sits right around 91, 92. In the minor leagues he played a little bit harder. I mean, he pitched a little bit harder with his fastball. But his secondary stuff has really been much better. This guy relied a lot on his fastball in the minor leagues. A lot of these younger pitchers do that. We see Willie Blair in the bullpen. But he believes his secondary stuff, which definitely has to be refined moving forward, but he says that's been the difference maker for him at this level. You see the Padres bullpen in rankings and just unbelievable effort closing games out. And right here, the inherited runners, the inherited runners is what really impresses me the most.
And they've been an outstanding crop. I mean, it's one thing to be the best, say, in your division. Better still, best in the National League. But how about the best bullpen in baseball?
Yeah. And you understand the expectations are definitely there. You have to pitch, you have to defend, and you have to close out ball games. And the history of the Padres organization has been just that, having the closers and having that.
Full count now with one out as you see this, I guess, the silent rally cap for the Diamondbacks. Is that what that is? The flashes on the cell phones?
I have never seen this.
Sending some kind of a cosmic message to the Diamondbacks hitters.
Actually, I just got a note saying that this is they saw this. The Diamondbacks staff saw this in Cincinnati, and they believe it was copyrighted there, and they're infringing on their copyright.
Oh, no Padre fan is going to do that. Not now, not with the Diamondbacks up.
Yeah, and I love that. Seriously, come on. That is awesome. Don't go with it. Stick to your Padres ways.
Or maybe when the Padres hit in the top of the ninth. Padres fans will break him out. Marte able to draw a 1-out walk. Little celestial voodoo by the fans here at Chase Field.
Nice.
Maybe coax a walk. And Jake Lamb, one of the offensive bright spots for the Diamondbacks tonight. He gets his first big league home run, a solo shot into second. Robert Liriano gave it a look. It was way out of reach, but Jake Lamb, home run in the second, made it a 2-0 ball game. The Padres, though, tie it up in the top of the 8th. Yangervis Solarte, bases loaded single.
I'd like to see Kevin Quackenbush get a double play ball right here, get the Padres back in that dugout, try to finish it off in the 9th and sneak out with a win.
Lamb, one of those youngsters, Mark had mentioned, the Diamondbacks 18 players making their major league debuts this season. And Lamb becomes the 5th Diamondback to hit his first career home run this season. Inciarte, Peralta, Owings, Marte also on that list.
Well, that'll happen when you get opportunities for these youngsters coming up from the minor leagues. You'll get a lot of firsts. Well, 18 rookies on the season for the Diamondbacks. Texas Rangers going through a lot of injuries themselves. You can see the Padres, 11 rookies on the season. This is one of them right here. Excuse me, Mike. Kevin Quackenbush opening a lot of people's eyes and a lot of conversations about this big right-hander.
Gotten himself to a point where, as you see, Buddy Black put him in some high leverage situations. Buddy with confidence growing. And he came at a really good time. Joaquin Benoit, who had the sore shoulder.
Yes.
He's now available tonight, but prior to that, as you mentioned, Quackenbush picking up a save. Benoit had a rest there in Los Angeles.
Well, Mike, there's a couple relievers on this Padres staff, both Quackenbush and also Dale Thayer. A lot of saves in the minor leagues. It's that mentality that you have to have and try to translate that into the big league level. Kevin Quackenbush coming up with his first save the other night at Dodger Stadium. Dale Thayer was closing games out last year when Houston Street was down. Got to have that mentality, how to finish games, and they've done it in the minor league level. Now they're coming in with big situations here.
Lamb, big rip, fouled back. And Rene Rivera, the veteran catcher, talking things over with his rookie pitcher.
Yeah, I like this. This conversation with Rene Rivera, the intangibles, and getting on the same page. He's been behind there for Jake Lamb's at bats tonight. He's seen some good things out of the youngster. Wants to make sure Kevin Quackenbush is on that same page with the scouting report.
Two balls, two strikes. Hammered into right field. Lamb, his second hit.
Well, you take a look at Rene Rivera setting up, and this ball is elevated over the middle of the plate. And Lamb continues to have that short stride and a good stroke, pulling his hands in, hitting a solid line drive to right field.
So with Lamb's base hit, Alfredo Marte moves over to second base and bring up the shortstop, Didi Gregorius. Should Gregorius get on, Xavier Paul waits on deck. Gregorius fairly quick. Only hit it one double play this season.
That was a good pitch by Kevin Quackenbush, and the reason for it, changing that eye level of Gregorius. You look back at that pitch, just pitching at the top of the strike zone, out of the strike zone. Very uncomfortable, and you can see Gregorius getting the barrel of the bat underneath that baseball. Don't necessarily need velocity to pitch up in the zone in our Fox Tracks by Southland Technology with that second pitch. Now Dave McKay gets out of the way of that one. Take a look at this curveball, and McKay getting out of the way of the first base coach. Very athletic move by Dave.
0-2 out to right field. Rymer Liriano looks up, and this ball is gone. The light-hitting D.D. Gregorius, a 3-run home run. And the Diamondbacks lead 5-2.
Now this is a heartbreaker right here. They pitch up in the zone earlier in the at-bat. Gregorius makes the adjustment, gets on top, the top hand hitting. 3-run home run, and devastating for the Padres.
Frustration for the rookie right-hander Kevin Quackenbush. D.D. Gregorius barely hitting over 200. In fact, lost his job to Chris Owings because his offense had been so lackluster. Gregorius, his 6th home run of the season, a 3-run shot, gives the Diamondbacks the lead. Just the 2nd home run allowed by Quackenbush. Comes back and strikes out Xavier Paul. So 2 are down here at the bottom of the 8th.
Center field, NBC.
Now, Mark, he got himself in that pickle, the walk to Marte. Jake Lamb battled, base hit. And Gregorius had pulled a few foul. Able to keep that one fair.
And he pitched up in the zone, but he leaked over the middle of the plate. Easier to adjust for hitters, especially if you've seen it out of the hands of Kevin Quackenbush. These are all learning experiences for Kevin Quackenbush moving forward.
Joe West saying he did not go.
Taking a look at the side swing of D.D. Gregorius, getting on top of that fastball. As you said, Mike, not with a lot of power. His 6th home run on the season. Squaring up that fastball. And since then, you have seen much improved breaking balls from Kevin Quackenbush. previous pitch to Gregorius was a curveball that really looped. It didn't have that bite. I don't believe he trusted going back to that, so he went with the fastball and got hurt.
Nice head of Inciarte, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That looked like a good pitch.
Inciarte to the first baseman. Medica over to Quackenbush. That will do it here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kevin Quackenbush hurt by D.D. Gregorius with 2 men on. Gregorius into the front row in right field. It's a 5-2 ball game. The Diamondbacks shortstop, a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th. Give the Diamondbacks the lead here. Top of the 9th, Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona, coming up right after the final out this evening. Chris Button, Mark Loretta, Padres Live, the post-game show. And Mark Loretta with a clinic opportunity for young players and coaches. It's all about the signs.
Yeah, and he put a lot of clinics on when he was playing, but he's going to go over signs tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Tune in to Padres Live with Chris and Mark. Addison Reed on the bump for the Arizona Diamondbacks, a former San Diego State Aztec. The closer for the Diamondbacks, and fastball, slider, changeup. Heavy on the fastballs. And he does miss location at times and gives up the long ball.
Tommy Medica takes strike 1. Now Reed tied for 7th in the National League with 29 saves. And for a bullpen that has struggled, he has converted 9 save opportunities consecutively.
Now you'll see Reed, he'll sit right around 91, 92 miles an hour. He'll reach back at times and get behind that fastball and reach up to 95 miles an hour. This closer is proud of his fastball. You see that nasty slider combination as well.
Now, you made your living facing closers and short relievers as a pinch hitter. Any modification to the approach?
Yeah, you just got to stay short. Most of these closers do not want to get beat with the fastball, especially in. So look out over the plate. like anything else, and you think of Trevor Hoffman, they all possess that out pitch. Trevor Hoffman, the devastating changeup to go along with his location. But you have to locate that fastball, and a lot of them command that outside part of the plate.
Tommy Medica. That ball well down the left field line, but hooking foul. It'll be nice to get Tommy going again. We talked about him being somewhat streaky as a hitter. He's 0 for 2. He's got a walk tonight. One for 19 on the road. Addison Reed had 69 saves with his time with the White Sox. As we mentioned, 29 this year with Arizona. And Medica can't catch up. Reed to strikeout, 1 down. Our Carl's Jr. star of the game. Begrudgingly, we've got to give it to the opposition right now. It's Didi Gregorius, the go-ahead 3-run home run in the 8th inning. Didi Gregorius, the Carl's Jr. star of the game. That pains me to say it.
Yeah, it does.
Not taking anything away from the young man. Big league at bat. But Quackenbush had been so good, and it was bottom of an inning where the Padres had scored 2 in the top of the frame to tie it. Oh, 1 to Rene Rivera. That I can't believe that just happened expression.
If you play this game for a long time, you're going to have to deal with a lot of adversity, and at the big league level can be very difficult at times because it's just magnified. Kevin Quackenbush sitting down, adding to his frustration, but how you respond back the next time you go out. And I wouldn't be surprised Bud Black puts him on the mound tomorrow, gets him right back out there.
Buddy and Darren Balsley, to your point, have been outstanding in the way they've handled and developed pitching over the years. And there's no question, once Buddy and Darren believe in a pitcher, that's exactly what they'll do.
Yep.
Right as ship.
And it's communication. It's making a point. I wouldn't be surprised after this game they do exactly that. Say, listen, man, you're out there tomorrow. Those are some of the things that go unnoticed as a casual fan watches. The communication, what this staff does to motivate these players and to get them back on track and try to separate their moments from day to day, because you have to do that to be successful in this game of baseball.
Down goes Rivera. Second straight strikeout for Addison Reed.
And I talked about being impressive with the fastball and for Addison Reed, and he's had 2 strikeouts this inning on the sliders.
The Padres now down to their last hope. It's the rookie Reimer Liriano. Liriano hit by a pitch and scored in the 8th. Padres can get Liriano aboard. Seth Smith waits in the on-deck circle. Out to center field. Back goes in Ciarte. in front of the track. He'll put it away. Couple of strikeouts and the flyout. The Diamondbacks behind a 3-run home run by the shortstop Didi Gregorius take the second game of this 3-game set from the San Diego Padres. Final score: Diamondbacks 5, Padres 2. Padres Live is next. Here's Chris Button. Chris.